In this video, I'm going to talk about the principal-agent problem, and I'm going to show you how to use contracts to solve the principal-agent problem. The reason why I chose to talk about this in this video is because the principal-agent problem is actually one of the most classical question types that you will encounter for your final exam. So it's actually very important for you to fully understand all the concepts and be able to solve these kind of problems by yourself. So why do we need a contract? A contract is needed to align the incentives between principal and the agent, and a contract is also used to solve the moral hazard problem. A moral hazard problem occurs because the agent's action cannot be fully observed by the principal. So for example, when no one can see your effort, you definitely don't want to put in your maximum effort because you have to pay a cost for it. In order to solve this type of questions, you have to know three very important functions. The first one is the utility function. The second one is the profit function. And last one is the value function. However, before explaining these three functions, I want to introduce to you two types of contracts that you will see in the entire course. The first one is the linear contract. It's very simple and straightforward. As a principal, you always pay your agent a fixed wage of W. So this is your fixed wage and a bonus. And this bonus is actually determined by the amount of output that your agent has produced. On the other hand, you can make the situation becomes a little bit more complicated. You are not going to pay the bonus to your agent for all the time. You are only going to pay out the bonus when your agent reaches a certain amount of output. For example, you are setting a target output of T. So this is your target output. And when your agent produce less than your target output, so for example Q smaller than T, you are only going to pay the fixed wage W to your agent. You are not going to pay any bonus to your agent. However, if your agent is doing very well and actually produce more or equal to your target output, so Q larger or equal to T, you are going to pay the fixed wage again and the bonus. The bonus is same as a linear contract. It will be determined by the output that your agent is actually produced. So after knowing these two basic types of contract, we are moving to a more real-life example of this PA model. So this example will be given in a very simple setting. We have only one principal and one agent, and the agent who is named as Antonia, and the principal we say is us, is you. So Antonia works for you. Antonia directs a movie on behalf of you. And there are some potential moral hazard problem because you cannot observe Antonia's effort. You can only see the Antonia's final output Q. So from our perspective as a principal, we will receive a price P per unit of Antonia's output. This is actually our revenue equals to P times Antonia's output Q. And at the same time, we have to pay a wage to our agent, to the Antonia. This actually follows the linear contract we discussed before. So Antonia will receive a wage from you, which consists of a fixed wage W and the bonus per unit of output. So in the end, the profit that you will receive as a principal is only the revenue minus the wage that you are given to Antonia. So this is our profit function as a principal. And now move on to Antonia. As an agent, when you are working for the principal, when you are producing a profit, you have to sacrifice some opportunity cost. You have to sacrifice your time. So this is the effort cost that you are going to pay for the amount of effort you have put into the project, into the movie. So this is the amount of effort you choose to put in. and this is the effort cost that you are going to pay. This cost can be anything. This is just an arbitrage function. It's an assumption here. This can be just half of E or 1/3 of E squared. It can be anything. And again, we have the output function. In this case, we assume that by every 1 unit of effort Antonia chooses to put in, she can generate same amount of, 1 unit of output. So our output function is simply Q equal to E. Again, this can be anything in your exam. This can be Q equals to E or Q equals to half E. This can be anything. But the fundamental idea is the same. So you will have a utility function of U. Here is the wage you are going to receive from the principal. So the wage given by principal to you is this. And you have to choose the output level of E. So we replace the Q here to E. And minus the effort cost function. So minus the half of E squared. This is the utility function that Antonia is going to have. So finally, we come to the value function. So the value from the contract. The value from the contract is simply the sum of the profit that you have gained. So as a principal, you gain a profit. And also as an agent, Antonia gets a utility as well. And these two equations are from previous slides. So we just simply substitute these equations into our value function, and we do our summation and simplification. We get this. So this is our value function. This is the amount of value that we created from this contract. And because we always want to maximize our value, we want to maximize our gain. So we have to do some mathematics calculation here. And I hope you still remember some of the differentiation rules from your mathematics class. So we differentiate the value function, we get P and bring the power down minus E. And once we want to maximize it, we have to let it equal to 0. So simplify this, we got E equal to P. And this actually implies that the higher the price, the higher the optimal effort. It also means that as Antonia, when I'm choosing my effort level, I want to have my amount of effort E equals to the value of the price of the output I'm going to produce. So this is our value function that we have maximized. So in summary, this whole game runs as following. So first, as a principal, you will offer your agent, Antonia, a contract that pays your agent a wage of W plus bonus, fixed wage plus bonus. And this wage is according to the linear contract. And after seeing this wage, Antonia has to decide whether she is happy about this wage or not. So she will accept or reject this contract. If Antonia decides that this wage is too low for her, she will reject the contract and the game ends. She will gain the utility of staying out of the game, and you as a principal, you will get nothing because no one is going to produce the movie for you. However, if Antonia is happy about this wage and she decides to accept this contract, she is going to choose the level of effort she's going to put in and produce the amount of output of Q equals to that level of effort. So this is how the game runs. And as I said, these value functions, this effort cost function, output function given during the final exam can be different, but the fundamental ideas, the fundamental process are the same. So once you fully understand how this tree function works, how to define the utility function, how to calculate the profit function, and how to find the value function, you are fine with all these kind of principal agent problem.